Hey, welcome to game 2 today. That'd be game 10 overall for the tournament going on this weekend. We have game 2. This is the Sharks, Rochester area roller derby, junior roller derby Sharks versus Philly and Philly junior roller derby. This is a level 2 game. And I'm going to introduce the officials right now before we get too far. We've got the non-skating officials. We've got Bionic B, Queenie, Steelix, Texas, Shirley Knott, Useless Talent, Hot Keys, Scar Arena, Angel of Beth, and Anya. And our skating officials, we have Frenchie, Go-Go, Muffin, Showbiz, Apex, Dread, and Bell. And playing for Philly, number 000, Pinky Die, 03, Devil. Number 05, Skyscraper. Number 0713, Locomotive. We have 1005, Amazing. Number 137, Ari Not Sorry. 148, Ruby Doom. 212, Ziggy Starburst. Number 215, Fruit Loop. 222, Violator. Number 240, Tsunami. 2817, Crasher. 427, Rampage. Number 777, Rollatoni. And number 9, Lightning Bugs. Playing for the Sharks, Rochester area junior roller derby Sharks, we have number 1010, Bash and Dash. 1616, Dolly Effect. 1990, Scary Garcia. Number 24, Space Kitty. Number 30, Vigilante. Number 44, Blood and Bones. 45, Scarlet. Number 52, Hari Styles. 5555, Among Us. Number 6, Cat Castle. 64, Maddie. Number 7312, Hit Sing Giggles. 777, Risk and Roll. And number 696, Noah Tall. And they're ready for action. We've got Maddie with the star right off the bat for the Sharks. And we have someone I didn't know. Oh, there we go. Ari Not Sorry with a star for Philly. I'm the cash man, by the way. Trying to host most of these games during the day so that we have some sort of audio on the stream. So we've got Ari Not Sorry going up the middle to the inside and breaking free. And picks up the lead jam for Philly. Maddie following close behind. Both jammers can put some points up on the board. Ari Not Sorry with the lead and can call it off at any time. Ari Not Sorry with a second pass through the pack. 4 points on another 4 points on the board for Philly. 8-point jam so far. Two defenders for Philly in the penalty box. Ziggy Stardust just going in now. Not affecting Ari Not Sorry as Ari picks up another 4 points on that pass. Maddie still looking to put some points on the board. Four points for Maddie on that pass. Got 20 seconds left in the jam. Ari Not Sorry with another 4-point pass. Whips through, jumping Apex leap for 4 more. 20-point jam for Philly to start this game. Jam number 1, 4 more going up for the Sharks. It's a 20-8 lead by Philly. We have Violator with a star for Philly this jam. Noah Tall for the Sharks. Expect to see nibbles around here sometime today. Violator picks up the lead jam coming around turn one. Noah Tall going to the penalty box. It is a power jam now for Philly. Violator picking up another first 4 points on that pass. Coach Gus with the green flag says, keep on going. Noah Tall should be out of the penalty box very soon, standing right now. Noah Tall does break around the pack of Philly and picks up the initial pass. Both jammers can score now. Violator getting taken out of bounds and being drawn back by Cat Castle. Noah Tall looking to put some points on his first scoring pass. Noah going into the pack with his hands behind his back. He may have had a problem with using them in the past, and that's how you solve it. Keep them behind your back so no one can call any forearm penalties on you. But Noah looking to make that initial scoring pass. Violator picks up another 4 points on that pass, and I hear Noah Tall picking up his first 4 for the Sharks. All right, Noah picking up a second 4-point pass at the end of that jam. 16 going to Philly. It's a 36-16 lead going into jam number 3. We're only 5 minutes into this game. Locomotive with a star for Philly. Hits and Giggles with a star for the Sharks. Hits and Giggles goes to the middle, and it looked like it had a path to get through with one to beat. Falls down, unfortunately. Still looking for the lead jam. Locomotive does break around, but Hits and Giggles does pick up the lead. Hits and Giggles putting 4 points up on the board and calling that jam before Locomotive can get back to the pack. Oh, Locomotive getting 2 there at the very end. Rolatoni with the star for the Sharks. Ari Not Sorry jamming for Philly. I'm sorry, Risk and Roll. Looking at the wrong lineup sheet there. Risk and Roll with the star for the Sharks. Ari Not Sorry already picking up the lead jam, coming through for a scoring pass now. Risk and Roll making the initial pass as well. Both jammers can put some points on the board. Ari Not Sorry puts 4 up on that pass. Fortunately, we have 2 defenders from Philly in the penalty box. Risk and Roll putting up 4 as well. Ari Not Sorry makes it through the pack for another 4-point pass. Risk and Roll gets knocked out of bounds, but comes back, actually gets halted there for a second, does make it through the pack and puts 4 up. 4 more for Ari Not Sorry and 4 more for Risk and Roll. Oh, nice move by Ari around turn number 4 coming on the inside line. Picking up another 4 points on that pass. Both jammers at 16 points each this jam, both coming in for their 20-point pass. And I hear a whistle blow. It looks like, risk and roll going to the penalty box, so it is a power jam. So Ari Massari picks up 4 points and calls that jam off. Risk and roll will be in the penalty box for virtually the full 30-second penalty when the next jam starts. There'll be a power start for a violator. You see how the defense is stacking up with a true four-corner wall. Seeing which way violator is going to go coming up to the pack. The pack is moving just fast enough that Violator was having difficulty, but Violator does break through and picks up the lead jam, and now it is a power jam for Philly. Violator coming through on a scoring pass gets blocked out of bounds by Among Us on the outside of the turn, being recycled. Dolly effect there, blocking, getting in the way of Violator, putting some points up on the board. And as we speak, Risk and Roll does make the initial pass to the pack, so both jammers can score now. Violator does make it through on around turn 1 and picks up 4 points on that pass. Violator picking up 4 on that pass as well. I'm sorry, Risk and Roll. Both jammers have 4 on the board. Violator coming around the outside of the pack around turn 3. Picks up 4 more. Risk and Roll trapped on the inside of turn 3. Whistle blows. Not sure. Everyone stopped when the whistle blew. It looks like 4:27 going to the penalty box. Rampage. Both picking up 4 points on that pass. Risk and Roll picking up 4 points on that pass. We have 12-point jam for Risk and Roll. Violator trying to put some more points in. We got as the jam comes to the end. I'm guessing Violator may have got 1 or 2 more. Or 3. There we go. 15-point jam for Violator in Philadelphia. 12 on the board for the Sharks. We're going to jam 6 of this first half. We've got Noah Tall with the star for the Sharks. Skyscraper wearing the star for Philly. Noah Tall going around the inside path. Both jammers make it through. The lead has been picked up by Skyscraper. Noah Tall and Skyscraper are both coming around for a scoring pass. It's a great name for Noah Tall, because that describes Noah. He's tall. So Noah Tall. Oh, I get it. Noah Tall, like someone who knows everything. Know it all. Okay. Sometimes I'm a little slow there, folks. Sorry. Noah Tall picks up 4 on that pass. Skyscraper 4 as well. Blood and Bones, and we have Cat. Cat Castle trying to play defense there on the inside line. Skyscraper does go through and puts up 4 points on that. Noah Tall going around the outside, but 1 to be gets knocked out of bounds. Cat crashed Noah Tall out of the, and now Noah has to come back in behind. Using those level 1 skills of going back and forth along the pack, trying to break through for some points. Noah Tall there. Notal looking to hand the star off to Cat Castle. Cat Castle moving back, but Cat Castle being shadowed by a defender. There you go. Oh, it's been dropped. Now the star is on the ground. The jammer has to pick it up. Cat Castle now is the jammer on record, and the jam. Noatal picking up 6. Skyscraper picking up 20. It's 93-54, 16:47 left in the first half. We've got hits and giggles with his star. And we have a little bit of a timeout here. We're going to be doing the Chuck-a-Duck at halftime. If you guys know what Chuck-a-Duck is, you probably won't see it, I'm guessing, because we usually take a break at halftime. But this would be a good time to play some music because we get a little Ring Around the Rosie going on in Philadelphia there, spinning in circles. But it looks like the referees have gathered around the bench. As we're waiting for the action to get started again, I want to remind you I'm the Cash Man. I'm doing as many of these games as I can this weekend. So thank you if you're listening. I apologize if I say the wrong names. I really only have one sheet of names in front of me and no other information. So I can tell you this is game 10 of the Winter Wonderjam event. We have 2 more games left today. We have 1:30 and 3:30. There'll be 12 games in total. Winter Wonderjam, hosted by Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby. Check them out on Facebook. Always looking for volunteers. If you would like to volunteer, or even if you have a potential skater who would like to get involved, please check them out. It's a real great group, and you can learn how to do roller derby from the beginning to a full blasted derby skater. So level 3, you go with level 3. They start the youngsters at level 1. This is a level 2 game, so this is where you can. It's virtual roller derby, except you can't skate into the pack at full speed. You can't hit. You have to stop before you get to the pack to get through. It's the only difference between that and level 3 derby. And level 3 derby is adult derby. So great move by Ari Not Sorry to get around that pack and pick up lead jam. Great absorption of the hit by Ari Not Sorry and being down just for just a few seconds, but still picking up 4 points on that pass, I believe. Oh, never mind. Ari Not Sorry got called for a penalty. There was no points picked up there. And now Hits and Giggles going to the penalty box. It's called you can't have a game without jammers on the track, so as soon as the one sits down, the other one is released. Oh, no, Hits and Giggles did not go into the penalty box. Pardon me. They were making their way, and they did not. Okay. Now Hits and Giggles is going to the penalty box. A little confusion there, folks. Sorry about that. It's been a crazy jam so far. So far, we've had 2 penalties on Ari Not Sorry, 1 on Hits and Giggles. A lot of time for the jammers to be in the penalty box, but you can't, like I said, you can't have both of them in there at the same time because there's nothing for the defenses to do then. So you immediately release. You immediately release the other jammer when both jammers are sent to the penalty box. Jammer who's there first gets released, and then the second jammer only stays in the penalty box as long as the first one stayed. So we got 2 jammers in the penalty box now. I don't know if this is possible. I'm a little bit confused now. I think we're going to definitely need a referee timeout here because they just swapped out the last jammer who was out for the last jam, Hits and Giggles, and Hits and Giggles got a penalty at the end of that jam, so Hits and Giggles went to the penalty box, but they have the next jammer for the next jam was put in the penalty box, and they took Hits and Giggles out. So now they put Hits and Giggles back in the penalty box. So what's going to happen is both the defenses are going to line up, and as soon as the whistle blows, both jammers are going to be released. And the in-house announcers are telling jokes. And thank goodness I'm not in their spot. You got to hear my terrible commentary and jokes here on the stream, so. Oh, Mr. Salt. So, boom. As soon as the whistle goes, the one jammer is released. The second jammer will be released pretty quickly as well because okay, the second jammer has been released. So we are still looking to get lead jam. This is jam number 8 after all that confusion. No at all in the penalty box. Didn't see what it was called for, but Ari Not Sorry, certainly not sorry for picking up that lead jam, but both jammers come through the pack. So Ari Not Sorry and Hits and Giggles are both coming up for their next scoring pass right with each other. Hits and Giggles trapped behind a 4 wall from Philly. Violator part of that wall. Does break through and does pick up 4 points. I see a penalty getting called against Castle now going to the penalty box for the Sharks. And Pinky Dye going to the penalty box for Philly. Yeah, there'll be no star passes until the pivots come out of the penalty box. Hits and Giggles putting 4 more points up. An 8-point jam so far. Ari Not Sorry does have lead. Ari Not Sorry does put 4 points on the board too as well. Now they're making it difficult for this next pass. And a nice move around the outside by Hits and Giggles, picking up 4 more as the jam comes to a conclusion. Got 12 left in this first half. 104 Philly, 64 Sharks. Maddie with a star for the Sharks. Locomotive for Philly. Locomotive breaks through the pack and picks up lead jam. Locomotive coming up to the pack on turn one, trying to put some points on the board. Maddie as well making it through. Both jammers can score. Locomotive goes to the outside. Picks up 4 points there. Maddie coming, still trying to make through to put some points on the board. Locomotive does finally break down the middle of the pack. Oh. Dolly effect going to the penalty box. Locomotive with a fairly easy pass on that last pass. 12-point jam so far. I do want to mention that Philly did break the 100-point mark last jam. Locomotive just skates directly into the brace. And brace knocks out Logan, brings him back. So 45. Great job there by Scarlett. Great job by Scarlett. Oh, Maddie just getting heaved out of bounds on the inside of the track. Still not able to get through for some points as Locomotive gets through for 4. Locomotive making 4 more points on that pass. Hitting that wall there. Dash and dash. Sorry, Dolly effect. Among Us and Scarlett were in that wall there that kept Locomotive kind of stalled for a while. 4 points on the board for the Sharks. 20 going up for Philly. It's 124-72, 9:30 left in this first half. Risk and roll with his star for the Sharks. Skyscraper for Philly. Skyscraper takes a step into the middle of the pack and just steps right through the defense. Just steps right through. Took one giant step and was halfway through the pack. Did one more step and boom, lead has been given to Philly. Skyscraper now has a power jam as risk and roll going to the penalty box. 4 points on the board already for Skyscraper on that first pass. Another 4 points on the board for Skyscraper. Coach Gus is here with holding the flags to let Skyscraper know to keep on going. The jam will not get called off. Also throwing out some code words for how the defense wants to set up too as well. That's another 4-point pass for Skyscraper. Risk and roll is back out there now. Risk and roll made the initial pass. Risk and roll is trying to hurry to get back to the pack to see if they can put some points on. We've got a whistle. I heard a whistle. Someone going to the penalty box. Looks like blood and bones in the penalty box, as well as risk and roll now going to the penalty box. The jam comes to an end. It will be a power start next jam for Philly, and that's a 16-point jam by Philly there. Risk and roll will start the next jam in the penalty box. It'll be a power start. Philly did pick up 16 points this last jam. So it's 140-72. We got 7.5 minutes left in the first half. We have a meeting of the officials in the center of the track. Some of those officials actually may have been skating in the mashup jam we had the last night at 7 o'clock. So roughs rough, but they also like to play too. So it's great being able to do both. It makes you very valuable in the world of roller derby. as well as coaching and playing too, much like Gus for Philly. We came out and had an incredible game last night playing for the Pepper team. He had 4 jams that totaled over 100 points, and 3 of them were back-to-back, or were 3 consecutive jams he had. That was a lot of fun. If you go back and watch that, that is on the YouTube page. So watching the adults play, it was a blast, and you can hear me talk about it the whole time too.
Why did the roller skater get a job at the bakery? Because they were on a roll. Thank you very much. Queenie's yelling at me, but I cannot understand what you're saying. Disapprovingly. That means the joke is great.
All right. So the in-house announcers are making bad jokes, and it's like now I'm almost embarrassed to be doing an announcing. No, actually I laughed at one of them. So one of these 5 or 6 that they've just spewed. So, but we this is game 10. We have game 11 coming up at 1:30, but at halftime here we're doing Chuck-a-Duck. So they probably should be talking more about Chuck-a-Duck than telling jokes. I would guess.
They always skate around the issue.
When the answer is part of the question, it's a terrible joke.
We do. Ashman wants us to remind you about Chuck-a-Duck. You have 7 minutes and 30 seconds-ish. So everybody should get a little ducky or 2. I don't know who is selling the ducks. Where are the ducks being sold today?
Junior, selling the ducks, raise your hand. Or go to the Rochester area Junior Roller Derby merch.
Yeah. I want to thank Mike Mortimer here joining me. He's the one who's running the cameras today. So thank you so much. Yeah, if not, we would be stuck on shot 4 of the entire track. I can see much better when you're moving them around, so I appreciate having a producer here as I do the announcing. We do have some skaters that are alts that we'd never mentioned earlier in the game. Philly has 3 alts that aren't skating but are alts for the team. That would be 126 skater, 2222 Bumblebee, and 286 Molotov Cocktail. They are not playing in this game, but they are the alts for this game, and you gotta love these long, very long referee breaks. I'm sure they're solving world problems while they're all jammed there in the middle of the track. But hopefully we'll get back to the action soon. But yeah, game 11 will be coming up at 1:30, and then game 4 is at 3:30. I think the in-house announcers should get a rim shot because they need one. But you can check out any of the games from this weekend now on the YouTube, which you're watching right now. And you can definitely... we appreciate you for viewing, and I've gotten some very nice comments from some people about... they want to hear anything but the ambient sound of the arena, and I'm anything but that. So it's been a fun first half so far. Philly's Jammers really having a lot of success in this game. Right now, they picked up 16 in that very last jam before we had the long timeout, but it's been a difficult. Their defense has been playing very well as well, and Rochester's having some moments where they peak, and the Jammers are having some success. But it looks like this next jam we'll be starting with the Sharks jammer in the penalty box, which will be a power start for Philly. It's interesting when they have all the officials in the center of the track. Leaves a big question about what. I wonder what they're discussing, but can only theorize right now. Looks like they're moving back into position, so. See, when I tell jokes on the in-house, I don't have a book in front of me with the jokes on it. All right, once again, we're getting back to the start. This is Jam. We're going into Jam 11 of the game. Ari Not Sorry will be the jammer for Philadelphia. It is a power start with Hits and Giggles being in the penalty box. That was a 7-minute long referee break. Good move by the defense, knocking Ari out of bounds as Ari was trying to go around the outside of turn 1. Ari coming around turn 2, looking to get through, getting knocked out of bounds once again. Oh, going to the penalty box. So Ari will sit down, and Hits and Giggles will be released. And now we do not have a lead jam yet, though, so Hits and Giggles can pick up the lead out of the box. It's interesting the defense kept working against each other, and there was no jammer out there for a few seconds. It's there. Hits and Giggles dips down around turn 3 on the inside of the line and freaking ducks underneath everybody and picks up lead jam. That should be lead jam. Yeah, you better give it lead jam. Yeah. Thank you, Apex, the skating ref, for figuring that out. 4 points on the board for Hits and Giggles. Ari Not Sorry back out in the track, too. You know, when the jammers are in the box, one comes out when the other one goes in. The other one stays as long as the first one was in there. Ari Not Sorry putting up another 4 points on that pass. Hits and Giggles looking to get the second scoring pass. Now both jammers are on their second scoring pass. There you go. Hits and Giggles getting through the pack, putting 4 points up for the Sharks. Ari gets taken out of bounds by Noah Tall. But shifts around to the inside line. Nice, putting up those 4 points as the jam came to a conclusion. 8-8 jam. Scary Garcia with the star for the Sharks. Locomotive out there for Philly. Scary Garcia goes up the middle to the inside to the middle, and Locomotive in full motion just streaks through that pack and picks up lead jam for Philly. Locomotive having a good game so far today. They've had some really good jams earlier. And there gets through. One to beat Cat Castle, and Locomotive picks up 4 points on that pass. We're under 5 minutes in the first half. Scary Garcia making the initial pass. Now both jammers can put points on the board. Locomotive looking to make through the second scoring pass. Scary Garcia coming into... Locomotive is coming through for the third scoring pass. 12-point jam so far for Locomotive. Scary Garcia can score, but needs to get through the pack. Cat Castle trying to make a path. And Scary Garcia picks up 4 points on that pass. Cat Castle getting called for a penalty. We've got 2 Philly defenders, 1 Shark defender. Locomotive taken out by Scarlett. Not making it easy. 4 points this time coming through. Scary Garcia with another pass. It's a 12-point jam for Scary Garcia. 20 going up for Locomotive. And the jam comes to a conclusion. 168 Philly, 92 Sharks. We're under 3 minutes left in this first half. Going into jam 13. Got Noah Tall with a star for the Sharks. Ziggy Starburst for Philly. Ziggy Stars going around the outside, picking up lead jam for Philly. Noah Tall going to the penalty box. It is a power jam for Ziggy. Four points on the board for Ziggy Starburst on that first pass. Now coming through for a second. Another 4 points. Noah Tall back on the track looking to make that initial pass to the pack. Noah Tall being driven out of bounds by the Philly defense. Noah Tall. Noah making the initial pass to the pack. 12 on the board already for Ziggy, though. We are down to under a minute left in this first half. This could be the last jam of the first half. And the jam got called off, so this will have one more jam before halftime. Noah Tall not actually making it back to put some points on the board. Oh, you got 2 there. It looks like both jammers picked up 2 before that jam was called off. But, oops, sorry, we have a timeout. And we had to take a timeout because the skater did have a bad fall, and it's doing better. Definitely, it's back up on skates and sitting back to the bench. So we're all happy for. This has been a great weekend with not a lot of these timeouts due to injury. So. As we get back to the action, this most likely will be the last jam of the first half with 34 seconds on the clock. Refs are all back in position. We just need to get the skaters back out on the track. And the official timeout is officially over. We have Hits and Giggles with the star for the Sharks, a Violator with the star for Philly. Hits and Giggles going into the middle of the pack, trying to push their way through. Violator with one to beat. And Violator comes around the outside of turn one, picks up lead jam for Philadelphia. Hits and Giggles makes the initial pass through as well. We are going into just jam time as the period clock has come down to 0. Violator with a 4-point pass. Hits and Giggles. Hits and Giggles did get 4 points on that pass. Violator with a 4-point pass. Hits and Giggles coming through for a second 4-point pass with one to beat. Both jammers have 8 points on the board. 100 points is mark has been hit by the Sharks on this jam. They're down to 45 seconds left in jam time. Another 4 points on the board for Philly on that pass. We got Ari Not Sorry going to the penalty box with our forearm penalty there. That'd be the pivot for Philly.
15 seconds to go.
Hits and Giggles did make another 4-point pass coming up. Both jammers. Oh, Violator went to the penalty box as well. We will start the second half with the jammer in the penalty box. Hits and Giggles with 4 more there. 16-point jam for the Sharks. 12 going up for Philly, 192 to 110. We have 15 minutes. Going to go put some music on, and we'll be back in about 14 minutes to do the second half of this game. Hey, welcome back to This is Game 10, Part 2, or the second half as we'd like to call it. I'm the Cash Man. I'm going to be your host through the game. You're going to say, man, I've been hearing too much of Cash Man all weekend. Sorry. I apologize for that. We only have so many announcers here. But it also gives me practice to doing for the regular season coming up. So this is a heck of a start to the new year, this Winter Wonderjam. January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This is the last day. We've got the second half of this game and then 2 more games to go. But I'll recap a little bit. We've got Philadelphia with the lead 192 over 110 over the Rochester area junior roller derby Sharks. Interesting. We have 2 Philly players to start the second half in the box, including the jammer Violator and the pivot. Both of them will be starting Violator, and I think the pivot is, I don't know who it is. We have Among Us with the star for the Sharks out there. It'll be a power start for this first jam back. Of the first half. This will be the second half, first jam. Among Us taking advantage of the 5-on-3. Among Us does break through and picks up the lead jam. And Ari Not Sorry was the pivot who is in the penalty box. There is a blocker in the penalty box as well. Violator is back on the track now, so both jammers are out there. Among Us has already picked up 4 points on that first pass. Violator does break through the pack to make the initial pass. Among Us getting a word from the bench to call that jam off. So it's an 8-0 run for the Sharks. The first jam of the second half, 118 to 192. Cat Castle with a star for the Sharks. We got Locomotive with a star for Philly, and Cat Castle take advantage of their lower stature, maybe be able to squeeze underneath a few of these defenders. Let's find out. The whistle blows. Cat Castle's been on skates since birth, I believe. Cat Castle picks up lead jam. Racing, and Cat Castle does call the jam off. So this next jam we have looks like Tsunami with the star for Philadelphia. Scary Garcia with the star on for the Sharks. That was a practice run there. I'll get a timeout right there going into jam number 3. So there was a player down. I did not see that. That's why that jam got called off. It wasn't Cat Castle calling it off. It was the jam down skater. But the down skater got up and is doing okay now. So, but now they'll have to sit for 3 straight jams because the jam was called off due to a down skater. It's very weird that there was a down skater on the track, and they actually took that whistle as the start, and they started jamming, and no one realized that there was a down skater on the track. Tsunami with the star for Philly. Scary Garcia for the Sharks. Tsunami does break around the pack and picks up lead jam for Philly. Tsunami coming around for the first scoring point. Gets knocked out of bounds. Tsunami not getting knocked out. Maddie driving Tsunami out of bounds, but not Tsunami staying in bounds, just having to come back a little bit. Tsunami does get finally through and puts up 4 points on the board. Tsunami coming through for a second pass. Does pick up the second pass. 8-point jam for Tsunami. Scary Garcia still looking to make the initial pass to the pack. You'll be back, Mike. All right. Tsunami picking up 4 more. 12-point jam so far. Scary Garcia finally getting through the pack, but the jam did get called off. 12 points, like I said, on the board for Tsunami. 16-point jam. Pardon me, there was 4 more at the end before that call off. And by the way, if you're listening to this, I'm the worst for calling the score off the scoreboard and not really waiting for it to be updated, so I apologize for that in advance. But there was a 16-point jam there. Now we've got Among Us with the star for the Sharks, and Pinky Dye with the Philly with the star. Pinky Dye kind of dipped down but found a way through and picked up the lead jam. Both jammers have broken through, and Pinky Dye coming up to put the score. Among Us looking at the wall and trying to figure out where Among Us wants to break through. Among Us does break through first and puts up 4 points on the board. Pinky Dye getting called for a penalty. Is now a power jam for Among Us. It'll be a full 2-minute jam as well. Eight points on the board so far for Among Us, coming up on another scoring pass. That's a 12-point jam now as Among Us puts up 4 more. Pinky Dye is back on the track. Pinky can score on this pass. Pinky did have lead going into the penalty box. Oh, Pinky finding a way around the outside of the pack and picks up 4 points on that pass. We've got hits and giggles with this star for the Sharks. Violator with the star for Philly. Score is 212 Philly, 130 Sharks. 22:55 left in the game. Well, the first 15 seconds of that jam was nobody doing anything. Violator does pick up lead after that little 15-second break there at the beginning of the jam. I think the confusion was that the skater was told to get off the track because they did not get on in time, and so there's only going to be four. No, it wasn't that. It was there was a skater in the penalty box, and they were getting him off the track before because they would have had 6 players on the track if they had kept the skater before the one in the penalty box came out. Nevertheless, in the second scoring pass for Violator. Sometimes whistles make people stop, and I've seen that a lot this weekend in juniors. It's one of those things where it's like you're just not sure who's getting called what when you hear a whistle, especially when it's not a start or stop of a jam. So the power jam has ended. Hits and Giggles being back out on the track now. Violator has picked up 12 points so far in this jam and does have lead. We do have 30 seconds left. Just imagine if they had used that first 15 seconds. $16-point jam now for Violator. And Hits and Giggles does make the initial pass, can put points on the board. With 4 seconds left on this jam, maybe Violator wouldn't make it back, but Hits and Giggles, I don't think they got a point because they had hit that wall right at the end. Oh. So that was a 20-point jam for Philly. Nothing on the board for Rochester. 232 to 130 with 20 minutes and a half left. Cat Castle with a star for the Sharks. Locomotive for Philly. Cat Castle. Locomotive picking up the initial pass and being the lead jammer now. Locomotive coming through on a scoring pass. Cat Castle making initial pass to the pack, so both jammers can put points up on the board. 4 going on to Locomotive with that pass. Failure to reform penalty on Noah Tall. Oh, Locomotive putting another 4 points up. I hear a whistle blowing. We have 2 Sharks in the penalty box, 1 Philly. And Cat Castle looking to put some points up on the board before the end of this jam. Locomotive still does have lead and can call it off at any time. They're still got the green flag from Coach Gus here to keep on going. Cat Castle, kind of the pack getting pulled apart a little bit, allows Cat Castle to get by almost. Cat Castle may have not put up 4 points there. Gave him 4 at the end of that jam. 16 going for Philly, 4 for the Sharks. 248 to 134. We got 18:35 left in the first half. We're going into the game. We are going into jam 7. Scary Garcia with a star for the Sharks. Rolatoni for Philly with a star. So now the in-house mics are involving in telling jokes.
Why didn't she go to the dentist? She needed a crowd.
Yeah. You won't catch me telling jokes when I'm on the in-house mic, okay? I'm just saying that. But we do have a timeout right now. We're trying to get back to action. Looks like all the referees are back in position. Scary Garcia with the star for the Sharks. We have Rolatoni for Philly. Rolatoni first time jamming today, I believe. That means go. Oh, no, it doesn't mean go. It means we're back into action. There we go. Rolatoni hitting a wall, trying to go on the outside of turn one. Does step around the outside and picks up a lead jam. Rolatoni coming in for a first scoring pass. Scary Garcia has not made the initial pass through the pack yet. Scary Garcia does break through the pack finally. So both jammers can put points on the board. 4 are going up for Rolatoni on that last pass coming around the far straightaway. We'll see both jammers now trapped in walls, looking to break through and put some points on the board. And Rolatoni does make it through first. Scary Garcia looking to get that pass through as well. Still not having much success there. Held back by Pinky Dye. Ziggy Starburst. Forming that wall with Tsunami, really holding back the jammer from getting through for the Sharks. Rolatoni being brought back by Blood and Bones. Rolatoni trying to make another scoring pass. Already has 2 down, 8 points total. Coach Gus is holding the red flag up, so that was time to call the jam. See if Scary Garcia was able to squeeze out a point or two. Oh, looks like Scary Garcia picked up 2 there. 11 going towards Philly. Among Us with the star for Shark. Ari Not Sorry wearing the star for Philadelphia. Ari Not Sorry going around the outside, meeting Scarlett there. Scarlett taking Ari Not Sorry out of bounds. Scarlett guarding that outside line pretty tough. Not making it easy. Among Us is trying to force their way through that Philly wall. With 1 to go, it looks like Among Us does break through and picks up lead jam. Pretty close because Ari Not Sorry was just about a step away from that as well. So still that got recycled and still hasn't made the initial pass. Among Us is trying to put some points up as Ari Not Sorry now is coming up for a scoring pass. Both jammers picking up 4 points. Both jammers picking up 4 as the jam got called off. We got 4 going each way. This next jam we have Hits and Giggles with the star for the Sharks. Locomotive for Philly. Nice move by Locomotive coming from the inside, the middle to the inside, and finding space, picking up the lead jam for Philly. Locomotive coming up on a scoring pass right now. Locomotive has deceptive speed. Gets a little bit, sees daylight, and then immediately is full speed through the pack. Picking up 4 points there coming around turn 1. Locomotive with the second scoring pass. 8 points so far on the board for Locomotive and Philly Brawl Stars. Hits and Giggles still looking to make the initial pass through the pack. Another 4 points for Locomotive. Hits and Giggles did make the initial pass through the pack, so both jammers can put points on the board here. Locomotive already with 12. It's knocked out of bounds, but Locomotive does not need to come back because the blocker went out as well. That was Locomotive with 16 points now. Another 4-point pass is a 20-point jam for Locomotive. Locomotive getting called for a back block. I didn't even see where that may have happened. It was on the other side of the track from where we're sitting, but now is we will start in a power start for the next jam with the Sharks because Locomotive being in the penalty box. I'm not really sure when that happened. I did not see it. It looked like he had a clear path along the outside of that pack, but it did get called for a back block, so. So this is a power start for the Sharks, and we've got Dolly Effect with a star for the Sharks this jam, so. So it looks like we have a little bit of officials timeout. They're trying to straighten out they have like these iPad controllers for penalties and skater lineups and things like that, and we've been seeing them all weekend, which is really helpful as an announcer, having like the penalties pop up in front of you when a skater goes to the box, just kind of instead of guessing. So it's really a good tool, and I think they've been having a few times they've had problems this weekend where they weren't syncing together. And so, but it's definitely appreciated to be able to see those you get the whole lineups on the screen as well as the penalties. It is the technology coming into roller derby to help make things smoother, less timeouts, hopefully. But it's been a great weekend so far. Like I said, this is game 10. We will be. Got 2 more after this, and the next game will be a sanctioned game, level 3. Two level teams, level 3 teams. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do have 12:36 left in this game. Philly's got a 281 to 140 lead over the Sharks. They had 18 points in the last jam. We're going into jam 10 of the second half. And we will start with the jammer Locomotive from the last jam in the penalty box. So it will be a power start for Dolly Effect wearing the star. And it looks like we're about to get ready back to action. And with that whistle, the clock has started. And Dolly Effect with a whistle runs right into the pack. It's almost like friends greeting each other. But Dolly Effect comes out the other side, picks up the lead. Had to have been picked up. I did not hear. Oh, the whistle. Okay, the whistle. Dolly Effect does pick up lead. Does have a power jam now. And then Locomotive went right into the penalty box at the end of that last jam. So there will be a full 30, but Locomotive is standing. So Dolly Effect with 4 points on the board in that first pack. Locomotive back on the track. Both teams are up full strength on the track right now. Locomotive does make the initial pass through the pack. Looks like he's talking to the referee, the jam ref with him as he's going through the pack. Dolly Effect does put another 4 points up and calls that jam off. It's interesting when skaters are talking to their jam refs as they're coming around. I'm wondering what the discussion is about. Cat Castle with a star for the Sharks. Lightning Bugs for Philly. Cat Castle ducking down, trying to use that stature to get through there. Sometimes you can squeeze between people's legs, and Cat goes around the outside and picks up the lead jam. That's 2 lead jams in this game for Cat Castle. Cat coming through to put 4 points on the board. Does break through on, goes to the inside and picks up 4 points. Calls it off. Last time Cat was out, the jam got called off, and we neglected to see down skater, unfortunately. I apologize for that. But Cat picking up 4 and calling it off. Bash and Dash with a star for the Sharks. Crasher with a star for Philly this jam. We've got 2 Philly players in the penalty box. Yeah, the referee just went and pulled the pivot out of the penalty box, saying, looks like I get to control what you see now. Let's go. We're going to get back to the action here in just a second. Looks like, not sure. I think what it was is the referee, the pivot thought that they had been called for a penalty. They hadn't. And so interesting. I'm not really sure, but maybe we'll get some explanation from the head NSO or the head skating official, one of them. I'm really not sure. It looks like Philly did get 2 points on that jam. That Cat Castle picked up 4. This is the current score, 283 to 152. 10 minutes left in this. This is the far shot from the opposite side of where I am sitting, and this is where I am sitting from this angle. So, Crasher with a star for Philly. Bash and Dash for the Sharks. Yeah, like I saw that the referee went and pulled the pivot out of the penalty box, so I think they went there by accident, or they thought they were getting called a penalty, and so they pulled them out. And when that happened, the whistle blew for the jam to start very quickly. So, all right. Now I'm back to just announcing instead of playing with the camera angles. That was kind of fun, though. So now there's nobody in the penalty box. And Dredd, when the skating ref Dredd is explaining to the Philly coach, what exactly happened? Now you just need to come over to me at the announcer table and let me know. He's not going to come. There's a sheepish look by the referee when they were pulling the players out of the penalty box, so it looks like there was some confusion there, that's for sure. But we couldn't do it without all these great volunteers. Everybody here is a volunteer, man. This whole system is a volunteer. This great event wouldn't be going on without them, so thank everybody. And we are getting ready to resume action. We got Bash and Dash on the outside coming to the inside. Crasher with one to beat. But does beat them and picks up lead jam. Oh, getting called for I think that's a high block, I believe. So Crasher going to the penalty box. Bash and Dash can pick up lead jam. Bash and Dash gets driven out of play. Bash and Dash looking to get that pass. There's another Philly blocker going to the penalty box. But Crasher is standing up. And Bash and Dash has made it through. So Bash and Dash does pick up lead jam. Crasher is back. Crasher, I don't know if Crasher made the initial pass before the penalty. I thought that they had gotten lead, but so I think that is so that's the first pass for Crasher getting by the pack, and Bash and Dash is able to pick up some points here. Philly will be starting with two skaters in the penalty box, including the pivot. And their jammer, this jam will be Skyscraper, with Hits and Giggles being the jammer for Sharks. I really think they named themselves Hits and Giggles because they know I'm going to slip up and say something wrong. But Skyscraper does break through the pack and picks up lead jam. Hits and Giggles following close behind. Both are able to put some points on the board. We are under 8 minutes left in this game. Skyscraper does make the initial pass, or makes the first scoring pass, putting 4 points up for Philly. Hits and Giggles trying to get through as well. Hits and Giggles makes it through, putting 4 points up as well. Oh. Skyscraper's skates got tangled up with a defender with 44. Blood and bones, and now, but does make it past him and putting 4 more points up for Philly. Hits and Giggles is trapped behind a wall with a Philly wall that Blood and Bones is trying to break apart so that Hits and Giggles can break free. They keep reforming around the jammer, but jammer does break free, and 4 points are on the board for Hits and Giggles. Skyscraper as well put up another 4, and is going to come through untouched for another 4 points. 16-point jam so far for Skyscraper. Hits and Giggles with 8 up on the board. With this pass, Skyscraper will be breaking the 300-point mark for Philly. A little sprint getting called for a forearm. Skyscraper getting called for a forearm does not get to put those points on the board. Skyscraper is going to get a double because only one. Though Skyscraper will be sitting in the penalty box for the beginning of this next jam. Looks like Hits and Giggles only picked up 8 that jam, 16 going to Philly. Skyscraper with a forearm penalty. Oh, so it is going to be a double penalty because Skyscraper did not get off the track when the whistle was blown and the referee was telling Skyscraper. So this will be a 1 minute penalty for the jammer, and Dolly Effect with the star for the Sharks once again, and getting lead right off the whistle. They got 2 players for Philly in the penalty box. I believe Skyscraper was given a double for not going off the track. So this is going to be a full 1 minute power jam for Dolly Effect. Eight-point jam so far for Dolly Effect. They did end up giving 2 points before Skyscraper went in the penalty box. So Skyscraper did get over the 300-point mark. Skyscraper being in there for a full minute, allowing Dolly Effect to put up another 4 points. And now Skyscraper's got to make the initial pass coming back out on the track. 12 points so far, and Dolly Effect calls that jam off. $12 points on the board for the Sharks. We are going to be under 4 minutes when this jam starts. Among Us with a star for the Sharks, Locomotive being the jammer for Philly Brawl Stars for this jam. And that whistle, it means start. Locomotive hops over the line, gets knocked out of bounds by Blood and Bones. Blood and Bones playing a great defensive game. You can tell by how many times I mentioned the name. And we got Among Us trying to find a way through. One to beat, and Locomotive gets by Blood and Bones, and it picks up lead jam for Philly. Among Us as well made the initial pass, so we've got both jammers coming up to the pack and put some points on the board. Coming around the outside of the pack on turn 2, Locomotive picks up 4 points on that pass. Among Us looking to put the initial pass, or the 4-point scoring pass through, but just being held back by that Philly D. Locomotive going around the outside, getting knocked out of bounds, being drawn back, and Know-It-All getting called for a penalty on that. And Locomotive goes to the inside with 1 to beat, picks up 4 points on that pass. Among Us still looking to get through, being held back. Tsunami there. Rampage and Tsunami. Violator there playing D, keeping him in check as Locomotive is putting points up. Another 4-point pass. Another 4 points. That's a 16-point jam for Locomotive. Eight seconds left. Among Us picked up 4 on that pass. Did eventually get through that pack, and 1 second left. Locomotive getting 2 more points at the very end of that jam, so 319 to 179. We are under 2 minutes left on the clock. The jam will start with about minute 20 going, so this could be the last jam of the game. And the jam starts. We've got Ari Not Sorry with a star for Philly, Scary Garcia for the Sharks. If Ari Not Sorry picks up the lead jam, we can just run that clock till the end of the game. We do have Scary Garcia star passing to Hits and Giggles. Now Hits and Giggles being the jammer on record for the Sharks. Ari Not Sorry making the initial pass, getting the lead. Ari Not Sorry can just run the clock out. if they fall down to it under 30, you have to wait for the 30-second clock. So at any time under 30 seconds, this game could be over. Oh, nice move. Ari Nassari zigs along the outside, gets blocked at the last second. Great move there by Blood and Bones. Hits and Giggles still looking to make that initial pass through the pack, but we are down to under 30 seconds. And they call that jam off. We got a timeout being called by Philly. Philly coach is calling timeout, so we're going to get one more jam. But that was an 8-point jam for Philly, 2 going on the way of the Sharks and Among Us. So one more game after this. Well, actually, 2 more games, but the next game will be the Quicksilvers, level 3 Quicksilvers versus Black Rose. Black Rose in their second game today. That will be coming up after this game, but of course we have to get through this game first and do the MVP awards and things like that. So, but we want to thank everybody who came to town. Thank you, Kate County. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Philly Roller Derby. It was a great weekend. Thank you, Mid-Hudson Valley, coming in. We've got Central New York playing in the last game today. So we've got Pinky Die with the star for Philly. Bash and Dash. Bash and Dash. And this should be the last jam of the game. Whoever gets lead can call this off. If Pinky picks up lead, they can call it off. If Bash and Dash gets it, they might want to put some points up and then call it off. We are now in jam time, so we are in jam time. Neither jammer has made the initial pass yet. 40 seconds into this jam, no lead designated yet. Pinky with 1 to get and gets knocked out of bounds by Maddie. Maddie drawing. Got Pinky, Scary Garcia, and Scarlett there keeping Pinky Die. Maddie, Scarlett, and Scary Garcia making a very powerful wall there. Now Bash and Dash going to the penalty box. We have not designated a lead jammer yet. We've got just about 30 seconds left in the jam time. If we don't get a designated lead, we will have played virtually 1 hour and almost 2 minutes. Piggy Die trying to get through. There was an opportunity on the sideline to get through, but did not. And that is the game. No score on either side. A scoreless final jam. It's like Black Rose Rollers are coming out to maybe slap hands with the winners and losers as they do the victory lap and the consolation lap. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the MVP, so hang tight, and then we'll take a little break before the next game. Looks like we'll have 10 minutes before the last game starts.